Currently, at this time in the world, I'd say American, Canadian women are the absolute worst women to go out with. Yes, there are other career feminist, annoying, obnoxious women in the Western Europe as well, but at least in Western Europe, the women are not so money hungry, and they are, at least they have some sense of style on on the clothes to wear and how to be more feminine. In America, they are feminists, which is a far cry from being feminine. It's actually sometimes the opposite of it. Yet they have the world's worst divorce laws, which they are aware of, and in the back of their mind is something they rely on, like a Rock of Gibraltar, in every aspect of their behavior, and something men have to watch out for in every moment of interacting with them. And on top of that, they have no sense of style. They have very little class, style, and grace. Now I'm talking about not all of them, not 100% of them, but great majority of them. They're covered in tattoo. They're covered in they wear their yoga pants as a default clothes to wear when they go out. They're lazy. As soon as you get past the very initial stages of dating them, which is probably the first date, they'll start burying their head in their phones. Their vocabulary is extremely unpleasant. They use words like dude, that they wouldn't think twice about drinking a beer out of a bottle. They are obnoxious. They are in your face. They keep bringing up their career and their job, and my children come first, and all that other garbage that men do not want to hear from a woman in 1,000,001 years. They're just unpleasant to deal with. And as a man who has an option, because not all men do, but as a man who has an option, I mean, let's face it, being together with a woman, you wouldn't consider even going out with a woman unless she's attractive to you. Now, whatever your type is, she must be attractive to you. Those are the only, circumstances under which you would go out with a woman. Otherwise, you would have no other reason. So let's say you find an attractive woman and you go out with her. And being attracted to a woman leads to wanting to be intimate with them. And when you realize the price you have to pay for the intimacy and the frequency of that intimacy, which gets less and less and less over time, you begin to ask yourself, if intimacy and sexual release is what I'm after, is it really worth it to put up with all the crap that she makes me put up with just to get that? Wouldn't it be easier to just get it in other ways? Whatever way that is, without having to tolerate a woman. Who was it? Charlie Sheen, that said you don't pay a working girl for sex, you pay her to leave afterwards. Now, I am not suggesting that you go with working girls, but I am making you think and consider, is it worth it to put up with these women and all their antics just for getting a piece of what? Is it worth dealing with her girlfriends? Is it worth dealing with her children from one or multiple men before you? Is it worth dealing with her in-your-face, my career, my job, my life, my exes? Is it worth dealing with all that? Men want peace, quiet, drama-free life. And when it comes to women, they want a feminine, not feminist, a feminine, soft, agreeable, sweet woman that you feel good about being with and spending money on. We don't want some woman that keeps saying my career, my children come first, and keeps rubbing in your face about how successful she is and what job she has and how much money she makes and what house she finagled out of her recent divorces, etc., etc., etc. We just don't want that. We just don't want to deal with that. Most men don't. If you're one of those pushover, mousy guys, yes dear, God be with you. Go on, right on, go on and enjoy your time with being abused. But most sane men who have options, who have examined all of their options, they're not going to put up with that crap because it simply is not worth it. We have very limited time on this earth. We don't know. Imagine that sand, hour clock, whatever it is called, name escapes me. And the sand on the bottom is the time past. The sand on top is the future, unknown. We never know how many we have. Imagine the tiny bottleneck in the middle. That's all there is. That's all really we have that is real. The present time. You could be diagnosed with a disease tomorrow and die. You could have an accident. You could become incapacitated. So we have to treat our present time as gold and not tolerate any kind of BS or anyone that tries to make that unpleasant for us. Leaving you with those thoughts on this tropical rainy day in Bali, Indonesia.